everybody, and welcome to the Board Game Basement with me, AZ, Ghosty, and Ghosty's mate, who is always the lovely Alice for the time being. Sorry, but she's a good competitive partner. How are you feeling after your wonderful show display yesterday?
What, the fact I lost?
Admirably though. Admirably.
No, not at all.
If you can't already tell, we're here to talk about Street Fighter. Quit! Japan.
I lost.
By Jasco and Capcom, Sega. Lots of different people pulled together to create this game, and they're creating a miniatures game based on our beloved Street Fighter, and they came up with this little piece of beauty. We've been playing it for a few days and had a bit of a whale of a time and a good giggle. And I think they've done a pretty good job. Yeah. I always like to start off my reviews like that. I think we're going on a bit of a roll at the moment. We're saying we've been quite happy with some stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely have surely been with Street Fighter.
Even though I lost twice, still had fun.
You've got to have fun. You've got to have fun. Even if you do lose, especially if you lose to me, it's it's just a thing you've got to get used to.
The first game was fine. It was only a couple of points, wasn't it?
The first game.
No. I was saying the first game was fine. I only lost by a couple of points. I was like, it's a close one. But now I've played it once, I'll be able to kick his ass. I'll say that. Sorry.
Thing is, she can't bluff. So.
I know. No.
So yeah, and part of this game is bluffing. They've turned it on its head. And try to create a game where you simulate as much as you can about the fighting game experience, which when you think about it, on a controller is you're trying to guess what the other person's doing and then you're trying to counter them, whether it be firing a Dragon Ball, using a combo attack. You're trying to anticipate their move and move away from it. And it's exactly the same as what they've done on this. The production quality of this game is absolutely amazing. They've done such a good job of it. I will definitely give them kudos. Some of the stuff they have on the board is cardboard, painted cardboard, things like the trees, the boxes they use for the actual areas and arenas, but they're fine, aren't they? They're absolutely fine. They look really good and they stand out quite well. If they'd have been plastic, fine, great, but the cardboard ones, they're easy to fold away.
Good for the environment.
Yeah, maybe. Good for the environment. That's where your toilet ought to be going. Fine models. But they pack away really easily, which perhaps plastic models wouldn't have done. Like with anything with cardboard, if you're using them over and over again, there's obviously a possibility of them getting damaged or ripped. But if you're careful with them, then I can't see that happening. Figures-wise, my goodness, look at those figures. So good. Painted figures, and they are lovely and big. The maps are nice and big. You feel powerful in this game. You really feel powerful.
You don't lose them on the board, do you?
No, you don't lose them on the board. It is very much focused around the characters and around you fighting, and that's exactly what it needed to do. Not a hard concept for them to come up with. Everything was pretty much there for them to do and display, but they did a really good job of it.
Yeah, I suppose the way they put it together though, they had to see how they were going to put it from, I had it on PlayStation, into a board game with cards and stuff, and I think they've done really well. Yeah,
and like with anything, when you're transferring it from a game that's on a computer or arcade or wherever you want to do it onto a board game, you've got to simulate that in a way that also simulates the board game experience, and this does. You pick up a hand of cards, which are all your attacks for your specific character. They're all about your character, so if you've played Street Fighter, you'll know what the attacks are, and in your head you go, oh yeah, I remember what this was and I know what this does. The attacking person is trying to play a card face down, and the defender is trying to guess what that card might be to try and counter it, or they might just outrightly try and defend themselves against the card. You roll dice and you see how many attack and how many miss, and you just go back and forth like that. It's really fun. And if you do counter and if you guess what the other person is going to do, it's such a joy and a frustration at the same time, depending on which side you're on. If you watched our live video, you'll see that when we do. It's just exciting. It really is, because it tips the balance between, you winning and you losing. I mean, you had some bad luck in that second game we had. You really did, actually.
See, my issue, my frustration is, when I used to play this game, I was a button basher.
You can't. Yeah, but this is.
But I know.
Bashing.
And my cousins used to get really angry. Used to ban us from button bashing because you don't actually know what you're doing. It's just luck, isn't it? And just like.
But you don't need to.
So this, I couldn't do that. I had to actually use my brain.
And there we go. So
there lies the problem.
It all comes down to Alice has no brain.
I'm not very good at bluffing. I'm not very good at. I don't know. There's
Are you the scarecrow from?
If I only had a brain.
From Wizard of Oz. We need to return to Oz and find it. Well, I don't think you actually need. It's not that complicated. It really isn't.
No,
as soon
no,
as you grasp the idea of, again, the cards represent a multitude of different things, and sometimes that sounds more overcomplicated than it is. But all it's saying is, are you playing this card for this purpose or this purpose underneath? Not both of them, and that's all it is. And really, all that means, are you playing it for the attack or are you trying to counter, which is the bottom bit? That's all you're doing. There are event cards in there which are specific to the different characters, which again just adds that bit of theme. I was Guile yesterday and I managed to do my super spinning kick as part of like a combo because that was part of an event that I played. And again, it adds to the theme. It adds what you in your head as if you were playing Street Fighter. That's what would happen. So they've done a really good job of trying to make that feeling, but keeping it balanced as well. You did have some bad luck in that run, but the first time we played, it was really close. There was only a few points in it. And that felt really good.
There was a few obvious things I didn't in the first one as well when I didn't have a look at the range of the attack or something. Yeah. That annoyed me. Yeah. That I didn't. I just get too excited. I'm just like,
when you think about it, you played this game twice in the battle and you grasped it in 2 games.
It honestly, I think rules for me, I get nervous when people are telling me rules, but this was really quick and easy for me to get.
A quick and easy game.
Yeah.
You can play this game 2-player. You can play it like we did, where you have a full terrain with all your bits and bobs on and you fight each other. You can play it arcade style in terms of where they have the narrowed scenery, where it's only a few squares wide. You are pretty much just facing each other as if you were playing the game, which limits your movement, and it's more about comboing and actually countering and stuff like that. So that adds that element if you wanted to do that. You can also play this in teams. You could be in teams of 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2. You can even play this as a battle royale where it's literally just a free for all and everyone's kicking each other's ass. That would be hilarious.
That would be interesting. Imagine that's insane. Yeah.
But it would be hilarious.
Like
just
Street
everybody going
party.
around bashing each other's heads in with whoever. Character-wise, they've got a multitude of characters. The base box, the boss's expansion, and then the Kickstarter goodies gives you everything that should be in this box. I know I gripe about that a bit, but it does irritate me. Don't pretend things are expansions when they should just be in this box, because it should be. We should get all of those figures in this box, and we should definitely get the baddies in this box. I didn't bother getting all the other boxes that you can get because I've never heard of half the fighters from Street Fighter 10 or whatever it is. Not interested. But if you are, by all means get in, because like I said, the model quality is out of this world. Amazing. So if you, I'm displaying these in my cabinet because I just think they're so good. And they've not skinned even the bases. They've put the bases as if they're on the terrain of where that character is from in the game. So it really just takes it up to another level, and you can just play it, and that's something really, really nice. It
literally 2 seconds to put it together, doesn't it?
And we've all been there where we've got games out, we unpack our game, we look at it and we go, oh, I can't wait to play this, we read the rules. We get our miniatures out and we think, oh, this would be great if these miniatures were painted. And you think, we'll just add that extra bit of level. That level's there. You hit top level as soon as you play this game. Gripe-wise, I would say price is my gripe for this game. And it's very sad because it's extremely expensive. They have put a really, really, really megaton of work into obviously these models, and that cannot be cheap. But when you're talking up to 200 and something pounds for this, for a game that will last you, you know, less than an hour. We played that in 30 minutes, didn't we?
36 minutes, wasn't it?
36 minutes one game was, for that much money. You know, you're not going to get people into board gaming by saying, I've got a game for you, it's 200.
Yeah, this is not a starter game, is it? If
they're going to laugh at you. But in the same breath, as I always say, would I play this with somebody who doesn't play board games? Absolutely. I would, especially if I knew someone who liked games and liked Street Fighter. I would say, yeah, let's rock it, because it's simple. You can pick it up pretty easy. I think that they would have a lot of fun, because it doesn't matter how good you are. It's all about the cards you draw. If they draw slightly better cards and you can't guess what they're going to do, and it's not easy to guess what they're going to do. You might think just because you're next to somebody, they're going to do a punch attack or a kick or something like that, but they're not, because the attack they might do, they might get bonuses if they're further away from that person and they fly forward and then do the attack. So it really is hard to guess what that other person is trying to do, which I think is great, because it makes it more exciting when you do guess what they're trying to do, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're able to actually hit the opponent and do some damage.
If you're not me, you can hit the opponent.
You were just unlucky.
Honestly, so many times last night.
To be honest, I think half the problem was you played E Honda and he was so slow, like he couldn't get anywhere. And that
but the thing is, I started off with 26 health.
You did start off with
and I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. I'm gonna kick your bum.
But he can't move.
No, he's like,
and that, I think, limited you quite a lot, because it meant you had to use a lot of your things to try and get near me.
So I could actually do.
Whereas Guile could do things from far away quite a lot, so I was able to keep back.
Who did I play the night before? What was her name?
Chun-Li.
She was good.
She was good, yeah, she was. Because she's quite agile and also has a multiple range where you can do a lot from...
I think she could move 6.
Yeah, you can do a lot up close, but also a lot far away, so it was really difficult for me to guess what you were going to do.
Yeah.
And I was Ryu at that one, so... And we were kind of balanced in how we did things, so we spent a lot of the time apart, but then came together for like a little scrap, and then went back again. And it was good. It was really good. But it's going to be one of those games where from the basement, I definitely say, if you get a chance to play it, absolutely do. If you like Street Fighter and you love these models and want those models, then definitely try and get yourself a copy. You won't be disappointed at all.
Trip down memory lane.
But if you're somebody, you know, who just would like a go, maybe, then it's always way too much money for something like that. There are games out there that you would get a lot more out of for the money that you would spend time-wise, I mean. Some people buy games to paint miniatures, don't they? And in which case that's fine. If they want to spend the money to be able to do that, that's absolutely fine. For me, having these, I paint miniatures, but having these already painted was just golden. I would not have spent that money on this if they weren't already painted.
Or if those were little cardboard togs. You imagine?
No, just little men moving around or whatever. But overall, really exciting, and I'm really happy that for the last few times when we've done reviews on games that were video games or other things, it's really been impressive. I've actually really been impressed that I feel like they've taken the time to actually listen to what people have said or what people might want, and produce something. Some chat made a little app for it, which is this on the board here. This is supposed to be so you can have it on your phone. You can get it on the computer. I don't really know why you would do that, because when I first got this, I thought you would be able to load both characters on here and kind of keep track of things. But it's actually just for one character. So if you had it on your phone, you could keep track of all your things on your phone. And then you can, when you do an attack, you can push that attack button and it makes the noise of that character like you would be actually fighting, which is awesome. But it's no use when there's two of you on a table. Because there'd just be one person on here doing stuff. So
you were doing your sound effects anyway.
I was doing my sound effects anyway, which is fine. But you can get that. Like I said, it's a little app that someone's made, and it was quite funny just doing all the noises on it. So if you each had it and just press the thing, that would be quite amusing to do. So yeah, quality wise fine, game fine, age wise would you be? I can't see why you wouldn't play. You can play this with kids who are able to play. It says 14 plus.
you think it's because some of the women are scantily clad?
No idea. I didn't think they were scantily clad, and there's more half-naked men in there than there is scantily clad ladies.
There's that army woman in the green sewing costume, that's about it actually.
I don't think she's scantily clad though, she's just in army gear.
How many army people do you see in a swimming costume?
Depends if they're swimming.
Touche.
Yeah. Depends if they're swimming. I don't think there's many of them swimming in Street Fighter. There's extra bits that you can get for this, which also emulate the game, like destroying the car, where you get to do the bonus bit where you're just smashing up the car. They've put that in this as well. So if you want to play the game in arcade mode, where you are going along, each person fighting them, and then get to those things and get bonuses, you can do that, which is pretty fun, which is pretty cool. I've tried to do that. I haven't had a go of that. I've tried to see how that would work myself, but I just like the fact that they've tried to do it and popped it in. I'm not sure if there's an AI mode for this. I'd love to see them do some sort of actual arcade thing where you could just play it single player against, like a computerized chessboard. Do you know what I mean?
Do that?
No idea. I mean, I
There you go,
have
next job,
no
guys.
idea how you would script such a thing. But then again, you know, is that touching on? Is it too far? You might as well just play the actual game. Maybe. But it's fun. It's fun drawing those cards and doing what you're doing, and you actually feel like you can play Street Fighter, which I don't know about anybody else, but I thought I could play Street Fighter until I got about 4 people in, and then was absolutely destroyed by the next one every time. I could never get past Balrog. Every single time he would destroy me. Every single time. You just couldn't block him because he punches through your block, so it's just impossible. And there we go.
At least you won last night, darling.
I know, yeah. So I'm taking that one. Retiring champion, I think, is the term I'd use.
End on a high.
Ends on a high. But from here at the basement, really happy with Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Watch the video of our fight if you fancy a giggle. It's on there.
Laugh at me.
Laugh at Alice. She's in despair most of the time, but it's okay. She can handle it. She's doing well. We've got other video reviews coming up soon as well. We're trying to get through. Alice is going to take the lead as well on one of our videos, which is going to be a comparison story one. She's got a lot to say. She's been telling me all about it. It's been fantastic.
But as soon as the camera goes off, I'm probably like...
She's going to do it. But so we've got that to look forward to. And lots of other bits and bobs coming, loads of pictures. So please stay in touch. If you've got any game requests, anything that you want to send us, we're always happy to do that. Any shout outs are always appreciated for both of us. We like to say thank you as well for all the kind words we've got and everybody laughing at us when we're playing our stuff. We do aim to please, especially Ghosty. He's always a crowd pleaser, isn't he?
I mean, he is. He was rooting for me last night, though.
So now that Ghosty's going to consume Ryu, there we go. He's done it. He's absorbed him. He's now one with it. So from us at the basement, thank you very much for watching us. We're going to give this a Ghosty White. Street Fighter, if you get a chance to play, put up those fists. Hi, girl.
Arigato.